Welcome to the January 2024 meeting of the North Houston Space Society. Today we're going to have some opening remarks, followed by recent space news by Greg Stanley. And then our featured speaker from Axiom Space, Megan Yang, is going to talk about building Axiom Station. At the end, we'll have some time for discussions. The National Space Society, of which the North Houston Space Society is a local chapter, envisions people living and working in thriving communities beyond the Earth and the use of vast resources of space for dramatic betterment of humanity. And I'd like to take this moment to talk about where the North Houston Space Society came from. We started in January 6, 2018 with our first meeting. So we're in our 6th year now. And we started meeting at my house. We had 11 meetings that first year, covering a wide variety of topics: humans to Mars, Biosphere 2, Yuri Gagarin, lunar exploration, space law, space architecture, and SpaceX's VFR, which is now known as Starship and Super Heavy. In 2019, we continued this, but we moved to the library. We had 12 meetings here. We had people from NanoRacks, from Intuitive Machines, people from NASA. We also, in 2020, got to visit NanoRacks and see the Bishop airlock before it went up to station. And then later in 2020, of course, we had to move to online meetings. And we had 12 meetings in 2021, covering a variety of topics, including China's space program. And in 2022, we also had 12 meetings. And in 2023, we had 11 meetings. One meeting we decided to forego in order to let people go to the JSC open house. So this is our 71st meeting. And one of the things I think is good to review is, what is the point of all of this? Why are we having these meetings? And I think it basically boils down to people should know 3 things. First, space is real. Second, space exploration is really happening. And 3, there is space for you. And it doesn't matter what you want to do. There is space for you if you want to actually work in space, you want to have a company in space, invest in space, just find out about space, use space. So about space is real. It's exciting, first of all. I mean, just in this picture, there's one photograph that the James Webb Telescope gave us. There are literally thousands of galaxies, each with millions and billions of stars, each of which have one or more planets. So much possibilities out there. There's a lot of opportunities in space. Metallic asteroid Psyche, which we have a probe on the way to right now, and then resources on the moon. And then also space is a source of threats. Solar flares from our sun, meteors impacting the Earth. And space exploration is really happening now. We have 2 space stations in orbit, the International Space Station and the Chinese Space Station. We have Orion, which is the first crewed capable vehicle since Apollo that could go around the moon. It test flew 2 years ago. We have visions of going back to the moon in a sustainable way. We have the Axiom 3 launch that's happening right now, and the Polaris Dawn mission, which is going to have the first private spacewalk later this year. And there is space for you: jobs, investment, companies, citizen scientists, science communicators, doesn't matter what you are. If you're an artist, if you're a teacher, if you're an engineer, if you're an accountant, if you're a team lead, if you're a programmer, whatever skill that you have, there is a place for it in space. And ultimately, it comes down to a choice about the future of humanity. Do we want humans to only be on the Earth? Or do we want to be on the Earth and low Earth orbit, on the moon, on Mars, on the moons of Jupiter, in huge space habitats, on the way to other star systems? Essentially, do we want humanity to be everywhere? And I think the second option is far better for us. And with that, let me pass it over to Greg.